join me. So I'm on my way to church.
Continue straight to stay on Texas 360 South.
I got about 10 minutes before I get to church. And so while I have that time, I wanted to jump on here, maybe figuring that there would be a few people online who I could share some important information with. And then you guys can use that information to hopefully change your lives. By the way, smash subscribe, smash thumbs up. Welcome to the channel. Please stay a while. Tell somebody else about the channel. And for everyone who wants to be in the live free middleman training tomorrow night, that class is going to be at 7 p.m. Thursday night. And if you're watching on Thursday, it's going to be tonight. It's going to be 7 p.m. Central Time, Texas time, for about 45 minutes. I'm going to teach you what I've been doing for the past 4 years, which allows me to live the life I want to live on my terms, make a good bit of money, build my wife a dream house, retire her in January, and still have a business, still have all of my free time, and then help others do the same. So right now I have about 248 students. So I just started training people, and I have about 248 students that have already taken the Middleman CEO training and have already started their business. First 30 days, students are averaging anywhere from 3,000 to 4,400. So we got to get it up to 5,000 a month and then beyond that, but still not bad for the first 30 days, especially when you're using your phone working from home. That's the beauty of it. And you don't always have to work from home. You can literally work from everywhere. You just work from your phone. That's the best part. So again, I'm on my way to church, so I got a few minutes. Just want to stop and drop in and give you guys some good news. So I want to talk to you today about building wealth. So guys, you have to understand that you have to actually do some things to be able to accomplish your goal of creating wealth. So if you're like me, you have a goal of not only, making money for yourself while you're here, but creating wealth is creating money that lives longer than you live, money that outlives you. So 100 years after I'm dead and I've left this world, I want something I built to still be making money for my kids and their kids. And according to the Bible, that's a good thing. So the Bible says that a good man, not a bad man, but a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. By the way, if you want to get into that live training tomorrow night, put middleman in the comments. If you're lucky enough to get a Zoom link, that means you're invited. If you do not get the Zoom link, that means we are full and we're not accepting anybody else. And so I'm going to teach you guys how to build a middleman business from your phone without doing any of the work. All you do is find a customer, book the customer, get paid, and then dispatch the work to someone else and let them do all the hard work. See, I told you it's not about working hard, it's about working smarter. So people that are struggling, so for instance, for me, when I was struggling the most in life financially, my idea was I'm not working hard enough. That's what I would blame it on. I'd be like, I'm not working hard enough. I've got to work harder. I've got to, be the best on the job. I gotta, grind, hustle and grind. That's what we say, right? And then when I didn't have enough money, which was always, then I would sell my weekends and to the highest bidder. Like, hey, what are you guys paying? I would sell each hour for the weekend to you if you pay enough. And so companies would come along, like Walmart, and like I used to work at a car wash, and all these things would come along and say, hey, we'll pay you for your weekend. We'll buy your weekend from you. And so I was going through life, not realizing it, but I was going through life selling all my time for money. By the way, guys, smash the thumbs up if you are getting any value from this. And if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. And so I would sell every little bit of free time that I would get because I was really, really desperate for money. I never had enough money. And so no one taught us about money. So when I grew up, and I was just thinking about this and talking with my wife about this, when I grew up, there was no money, there was no abundance, there was no paying your bills on time, there was no extra money, there was no talk about that, right? we grew up in an environment where my mom had 8 kids. It was a 2-bedroom house. It was boys in one room, girls in the other. And there was no dads. I've never known my real dad my entire life, and I probably never will. And there was no abundance of anything. We grew up on welfare. We grew up on food stamps, and the government, whatever we were able to do is because the government would fund it. And I'm not against welfare. I'm not against food stamps. It's not the child's fault that they're in a bad position. But I do hate the fact that they never came to our house and tried to help my mom to become self-sustainable and get off of welfare. So fast forward today, all those years ago, my mom is now in her mid-60s, and she's still not in a position to take care of herself. And so her kids, we all have to kind of chip in and help. She's healthy, but because the years of her building wealth and financial freedom for herself are pretty much gone, we still have to chip in and help her. Thankfully, we're able to do it, but that's the problem with growing up in an environment where there's always lack. So a lot of you probably grew up the way I did. There wasn't a lot of money. There certainly wasn't an abundance of money. And so as we get older, we have to start figuring out, all right, what are some steps we're going to take to be able to put ourselves in the best position? So what are some steps we're going to take to be able to put our kids in the best position? And I keep coming on here and blowing the warning sign, horn or trumpet, smashing the horn and saying, hey, you are doing it wrong. The way you are doing it, the way you are building your life and your future is wrong. And I get a lot of pushback, and I get a lot of negative comments, but I'm okay. I can deal with it. But listen, when I was struggling, you know what I was doing? I was selling time for money. All the time I could sell, I would sell it. Sometimes I would barely sleep. I would sell you every hour I had, right? And then what would I do? I'd use my paycheck to fund my whole lifestyle. Whatever my paycheck could afford, that's where I was living. Whatever my paycheck could afford, that's what I was driving. Whatever my paycheck could afford, that's where I was eating. So think about it. Your life is built around your paycheck, and that's a dangerous, dangerous thing. That's a dangerous game you're playing, because the fact of the matter is, and I want you to think about this, I'm not trying to scare you, but I want you to be ahead of the game. The 90% are unprepared and will be unprepared. The 10%, which is what I want you to be, which is the purpose of this channel, the 10% is the prepared. I want you to see the future and say, wait a minute, let me forecast, let me project. If this happens, what happens to me? So if I lose my job today or tomorrow, what happens to me? What happens to my family? Do we have to move? Do we have to downsize? Do I lose my car? Do I lose my house? What are we going to do? Right? And if you're thinking that, then you're already in a good position, because you're already anticipating what potentially could happen. And anticipation is the name of the game. So you look out and you say, all right, if I lose my job today, first thing, I have no extra income. Nothing. I got a little bit in savings, but it's not going to be enough to just sustain us. But I have no extra income. I'm gonna have to get a job very quickly. And now what do? Now you find yourself selling your time to jobs that don't value you correctly. This job is underpaying you. This job is just a gig job, is here today, gone tomorrow. And this is not fulfillment, this is not purpose. And most importantly, this ain't where you belong. But because you made some financial mistakes, you didn't get prepared, you didn't forecast what could happen potentially, and you're not prepared. And then all of a sudden you get that emergency that you've been waiting on. You get that rainy day that you've been speaking into existence. Somebody said, what's up? And guys, I'm almost at the church. So, but again, I got a live free training that's coming up tomorrow, Thursday night. It's going to be about 45 minutes. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do on my phone since 2020. I haven't had a job since 2020. I don't want one. And I'm just going to be teaching you how to build a business from your phone, how to book customers for other companies, and then get paid to do it and send the work to them. I love it. So if you want to learn how to do that, put Middleman in the comments, and I'm going to try to bless your socks off. So I'm almost at church, so a couple minutes. But again, if you want to build wealth, you guys are going to be building wealth from scratch, and that's okay. I did it too, right? Now I can go to the bank and write a $500,000 check and it cashes up. There were days, well, I can't, my wife can't. I always tell people, I'm married, I don't have any money. My wife has all the money. And my wife's a sweetheart. One day I'm going to get her on here. She's retired now. My wife, she retired in January. I say retired, but I use the term loosely because she still works whenever she wants to. But what I mean by retired is she doesn't have to work. But she doesn't want to sit around and do nothing either. So I'll just be honest with you on that. So, but again, you've got to see the signs. We can all look up at the sky, see the clouds and say, it's probably going to rain. Just based on what we see. But yet we can't look at our own finances, see the mess we've made, and then forecast that, hey, we are in a bad position. We need to get this thing right. And then, listen to some random guy on YouTube, me, subscribe to some random guy on YouTube's channel, me, who's telling you that there's a financial hurricane coming in spite of what they tell you on the news, and you need to be ready. Not here to scare you. I'm here to wake you up and say, hey, pay attention. Some hard times are coming, but don't let it scare you. You're going to be okay. You just have to be the 10%. Well, what's the 10%? The 10% are the ones who are going to be prepared for whatever's coming. The 10% are the ones that's going to be prepared for what's next. Well, what's the 90%? Oh, the 90% are the ones who won't be prepared. They'll be the ones who get left behind, and you don't want to get left behind. Guys, I'm at the church, ready to go in and get some word in me. I always tell you, because somebody was like, hey man, you always talking about finances and making money. I was like, yeah, because that's important. And so we're not going to go through life pretending it's not important, right? Now, it's not the most important thing. And so I always tell them, look, it's faith. The first thing you got to make sure is your faith is right. You're going to be dead a lot longer than you're alive. Eternity is way more important than any amount of money in this world. I promise you. In fact, the Bible says, what would it profit you if I gave you the whole world? You gained it all and you lost your soul. What would that profit you? Nothing at all. So faith is always first. And second is family, right? Money's not even number two. Faith is first. That's eternity. Family is next. You only get one shot to be with this family on this earth. Yes, in heaven you will be family, but not in the same essence that you are family here. I'll explain that another day. But and then the last thing is finances. Right? So that's the order. I'm faith first, family second. I don't let money come between me and my family. If I got an opportunity to make money and an opportunity to hang out with my family, I'm hanging out with my family. So I hope that makes sense. And then finances. So money is important, yes, but it's not the most important thing. I appreciate the thumbs up, guys. Appreciate the love and the blessings. It's an Eshan. I appreciate you. Hopefully I said it right. Hit subscribe, guys. Welcome to the channel. But this is your opportunity to build wealth from scratch. A lot of you don't know a whole lot about finances and shifting your life. I promise you, if you get into this masterclass, if you get into this live training coming up Thursday night, I'm going to teach you how to make money when you're not at work. Right now, that's one of the most important things you could do. When you leave that job, when you clock out, it's important that you still are able to make money. If your money ends when you punch out at work, you are in trouble. Because if they fire you, furlough you, lay you off, what are you going to do to make money now? I'm telling you, don't wait to find out. Be the 10%. The 90%, they're going to wait to find out. The 10%, they're like, nope, I hear you, brother. You're right. And I know you're right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm jumping on top of this now. What do you got to teach me? Because that's what I'm saying. If I'm watching this video, I'm going, what are you going to teach me? Hey, I'm going to teach you how to use your phone to make money so when you're not at work, you can still get paid and take care of your family. Say less. Where do I sign up? Bam. Put middleman in the comments under any of my videos. If you get an invite, you're invited. If you do not get an invite, we've cut it off. We only want a certain amount, and I have my reasons for that because I got some really cool stuff that I want to give out. But make sure you're there. Put middleman under any of the comments. Be in the live free training tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central time here. I'm in Dallas, so Central time here in Texas. I'll teach you how to do it. My students are averaging, no joke, from anywhere from 3,000 to 4,500, I want to say, for their first month. I know it's not $1 million. I know it's not 100,000, but they don't have to go to work to get that. I'm teaching them how to be free. I always say, I'm not here to teach you how to be rich. I hope you get rich. I hope I get rich. I'm not here to teach you how to make $1 million a year. I hope you get it. I hope I get it. But I'm here to teach you how to be free so you can enjoy your life. If you make $50,000 a year on a job, that's going to cost you 2,000 hours. 2,080 hours to be exact. I know it. But if you create a business and you work on it like I do, 1 hour a day, that's going to cost you 200 hours. You rather work 200 hours and have all the other hours to yourself and your family, or you rather work 2,000 hours for the same amount of money? You can make 50K, and that ain't even a lot, just a small example, but you can make 50K by selling 2,000 hours a year, or you can make 50K by by using 200 hours a year. You still make 50K. The difference is how you make it. So go back and watch my video. It's not about how much money you make, it's how you make the money. I got to go, guys. Church is starting. Be blessed. Have a great night. Put Middleman in the comments. Smash thumbs up. Hit subscribe. Welcome to the channel. Let me teach you how to build wealth from scratch so that your kids and your children are taken care of. Put Middleman in the comments on any videos. You'll get an invite to the live training tomorrow. And I'll see you guys. Have a blessed night. Peace.